So this is the second video. So if you haven't watched the first video, go back. This is not the correct one right now. So go back to video 1. I'm starting with number 13 right now. Whoops, sorry. I guess 13's on this sheet. Okay, so 2.54 divided by 0.02. All you need to do is type that in the calculator and you get 627. Because remember, you're able to use the calculator the whole test. Okay, number 14, we are multiplying. So there's no keep, change, flip. We need to put 5 over 1, 2 over 5, multiply straight across. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 5 is 5. You need to simplify. So 10 over 5 is 2. 49% is a decimal. My decimal's at the end. I need to do always 2 ba-doom-ba-dooms. 1, 2. So that's where my decimal is going to end. So 0.49. You do not need the 0 in front, but just so you can see what that looks like. Okay, 16 is a keep, change, flip. So I'm going to keep my 5s. We can't keep, change, flip until they are in improper form. So I'm going to multiply, add. When I multiply, I get 15 plus 2 is 17. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. So now I keep it, change it to multiplication, flip it over. So I'm going to multiply straight across. I don't have room, so I'm going to go over here. 17 times 2 is 34. 5 times 3 is 15. Top goes in the box. Can go in 2 times. 4 left over. So my answer is 2 and 4/15. Okay. Which measure of center best represents the data set below? Well, I know we only talked about mean and median, so those automatically can be crossed off. Let's look at this example though. I have the numbers 2, 5, 4, 8, 9, 2, 1, 0, and 81. Does anything seem like it does not belong? The 81 doesn't belong. That's the outlier. So do we use median or mean when there's an outlier? Median. Mean is if there is no outlier. If there is an outlier. Remember, you would not want a bad grade put into your average, and that's what mean is. So explain, because there is an outlier. Okay, let's look at number 18. Which of the following would you use to describe the difference between the least and greatest? That's range. That's choice C. Average is mean. Choice D. And the middle is the median, or choice A. Okay, number 19, we're looking at this inequality. First of all, it is open. So we are either going to have our less than or greater than symbols, not the one with the line. So remember, if the line's underneath it, it's closed. So on your final, if it's a closed circle, you need to put the line underneath your inequality. If it's open on your final, then you don't. So I'm going to put my letter X in the 2. It's going less, so it's running away from the X, okay? If I draw my little teeth, it's running away. All right, number 12 or 20. Laura bought 12 tickets at a concert for $96. At this rate, how much would 5 tickets cost? We're going to set up a ratio table. We're talking about tickets. We're talking about cost. So 12 costs 96. How much would 5 tickets cost? So I can divide each of these by a bunch of things, but I'm going to divide by 12. That gives me a 1 and an 8 times 5 times 5 gives me 40. So $40 is my answer. Okay, number 21. Lots of different ways to do this. You can do this with a chart. You can label the shapes 1, 2, 3, 4. You can label ABC. I'm going to use little check marks. So just look and I'll tell you when to check your papers. So we have the numbers 2, 6, 3. So area equals base times height. I'm going to use 2 and 6 first. That gives me 12. And I need to multiply it by 2, and that gives me 24. So make sure you have 24 somewhere right now. 2, so if you're using the formula, you'll see that there at some point. Area equals, we'll do 3 and 6 this time. So 6 can't be used anymore. That's 18, always 2 of them. That gives me 36, so check you have 36 somewhere. Shape 3. The only 2 numbers I have left are 2 and 3. That gives me 6. There's 2 of them. So I get 12. So make sure you have 12. Now my last step is to add up. So I have 24, 36, and 12 all added together. And that gives me a total surface area of 72 centimeters squared. Okay, what is the value? We need to do, sorry, this Mobi is really glitchy. GEMS. Any grouping symbols? No. Any exponents? Yes. So 6 to the 4th means to do 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. When I type that in my calculator, I get a gigantic number. So 55 minus my gigantic number, which is 1296, divided by 24. No more exponents, multiplication or division. Yep, right over here. 1296 divided by 24. Type that in your calculator. You get 54. So 54 and 55 being subtracted. No more multiplication. All of that for the answer of 1. All right, an aquarium charges $15 for an adult and $10 for children. Write an expression that represent the cost of 4 adult tickets and 7 children's tickets. So we don't actually need to solve this question. They just want an expression. So you're buying multiple tickets of each. So first we're going to have to find the adults. So $15 times your 4 adults. Plus, you're going to need to add the children's tickets in, which is $10 times $7 each. As long as something looks like this, where you're multiplying the adults times the 4, you're multiplying the kids times the 10, and adding it together, you are good to go. All right, 24, solve the equation. So 4x, or inequality, sorry. I'm going to draw the line down. This is touching, so it's multiplication. So divide both sides by 4. I get x and 10. Can I circle 10 right now as my answer? No. No, 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 no. Don't do that. That's what I tell my dog. No, no, no. Don't circle that answer because we need a solution. This says x has to be less than 10. So to do that, remember, it always needs to eat the bigger number. So I'm going to put my 10 here in for my x and that 10. So I'm going to put 10, 10, 10. So let's try 12, 15, and 9. Is it eating the bigger number? No. Is it eating the bigger number? No. Is it eating the bigger number? No. Is it eating the bigger number? Yes. So choice D is your actual answer. So be very careful with that. It's going to be tricky. I don't want you to make that silly mistake. Okay, what is the solution to the equation? We're just a regular equation. Drawing the line down the middle, get rid of a minus 6.5 by adding 6.5. You can do this by hand, or if you'd like, you can use your calculator, and you get 18.98. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, so 18.98 should be your final answer. Okay, moving on. 26, I am going to find the surface area. I cannot use the chart for this one because it is not a rectangular prism. It has triangles. That throws everything off. So I can be lazy though. Shape 1 is my rectangle. It's 10 by 5. So area equals base times height. Area equals 10 times 5. Area equals 50. Now there's 1, 2, 3 of them. So instead of doing this formula 3 times, here's where I can be lazy. Multiply it by the 3. That gives me 150. Shape 2 is my triangle. It has a base of 5 and a height of 4. So area equals base times height. For a triangle, you need to make sure you divide it by 2. Don't make that mistake because I'm sure there's an answer choice that has it where you don't divide by 2. So 5 times 4 divided by 2. 5 times 4 is 20 divided by 2. That gives me 10. Now there are 2 of them, so I'm going to multiply my 10 times 2 to give me 20. My final step is to add up. So 150 plus 20 gives me a total surface area of 170 centimeters squared. Hopefully you're doing well. If you have questions on top of what we're doing right now, just come into class and let us know, hopefully before your final. Okay, next one. So to start, we're going to put our starburst down and our dum-dums. Now starbursts are 51 cents and we're buying 1.8 pounds. So since we're buying multiple pounds, we are going to multiply. The dum-dums are $2.57 a pound and we're buying 5.2 pounds of dum-dums. It's very important that you check and read and match up everything correctly. So when I type this in the calculator, I get 0.918. Since we're talking about cents, we have to cut it out here. The 8's going to round the 1 up to 2. So this is 92 cents. And when I type this in the calculator, I get 13.364. Again, that cuts off. The 4 keeps that the same, so it's just 13.36. To find the total, you add your 13.36 and your 92 cents. That's going to give your total spent. Think of going to the grocery store. So that is $14.28 total. Okay, 28. The key on a particular amusement park map. Every 5 inches on the map represents 8 yards of trails on the park. How many inches represents 56 yards? So we're talking about inches and yards. 5 inches, 8 yards. We go to 56. We need to know how many inches. 8 can go straight to 56, so we times 7. 5 times 7 gives me 35. So my answer is 35 inches. 29. What is the mean for the set of data? Round your answer to the nearest whole number. So this is the number we're writing. These x's are how many times. So I'm going to write 4. And again, mean is add them all up. Plus 4 plus 4. Plus there's 1 5. There's 4 6's. And 2 7's. When I add all that up, I get 55. Now I have to count by how many numbers there are. I do not count the bottom numbers. I count how many x's there are. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to take 55 divided by 10, and I get 5.5, which rounded to the nearest whole number is 6. So actually on the answer key, I gave you the wrong thing. I said 5.5. Now that I read it's the nearest whole number. So make sure you change that to 6. All right, 30. The giant Freezy Pop is in the shape of a rectangular prism. The box has a width of 4, a length of 10.5, and a height of 5 1/3. What is the volume of the box of Freezies? As I'm talking right now, I notice my clock is winding down, so I'm actually going to have to stop, and my next video will start at number 30. Sorry about that, guys, so go to video number 3.